Hey everyone, it's Spurs Rail 96 here. Hope you're doing well out there and have had a good week so far. Welcome to another Train Sim World live stream. For today's live stream, we're taking a look at another Loco add-on that has been recently released to Train Sim World, this time by very well-known game developer TSG, Train Sim Germany. Very well known for making quality, proper quality add-ons, from the historic Niedertalbahn to the modern Vossler G6 shunter. The latest offering from TSG is the DBBR 218, the first mainline diesel locomotive set in modern day format. So we're going to take a look at the 218 and see what it's like to operate. So let's get on to its journey, and I think we will do you know what, I think we'll start with a we'll start with a freight service, and then I'll go on to another route and change it to like a passenger service or something like that. So this will be a freight train from Lübeck Hauptbahnhof to Hamburg Rovenburg sort. Alright. Oh, is this at night time? Oh, that's no good. That's no good at night time. Not for streaming purposes. Let's see if I could set it to daytime, maybe. I'll try and find a service that's at daytime. Yeah, but anyway, a little bit about the DBR 218. It's a diesel 4-axle diesel hydraulic locomotive. They were built from, I think, 1968 to 1979. I think 398 or nearly 400 were built. And in terms of its power output, it has 2,764 horsepower, or just over 2,000 kilowatts. And the maximum speed it can reach from a passenger perspective is 87 miles per hour, and freight is 56 miles per hour. But I'll go into the train depot quickly, and I'll just show you what you can do with this locomotive. So there's a fair few routes that you can run it on. Hamburg-Lübeck is its primary route for gameplay, so you'll be mostly doing semi-fast passenger services up and down the line, as well as some freight services up and down the line as well. And you could also do a few light engine moves for freight. For Maintalbahn, which was released I think last year, you can do a couple of empty stop moves, as well as the slower Regional Bahn 88 passenger services up and down the small branch line. München to Augsburg, you've got a combination of doing some Regional Bahn and Regional Express passenger services, as well as some container trains. They really need to remaster that route, I tell you. Imagine having a new timetable on that. That'd be so cool. Hauptstrecke Rheinruhr, you could do regional express services, be it 1, 2, and 6. Mainspazebahn, you could do local passenger services, all stop services, limited stop services up and down the line, as well as at various points of the route. The Werke Dresden, most of it is just freight, either on the slow line or the fast line, and I think there is an occasional regional express 50 passenger service thrown in there as well. One at Ostem, which I do like. You can do some westbound or eastbound regional express services, as well as some petroleum and intermodal freight services. Rossignol, it's just a log, as well as a cement run on Rossignol, going from Hagen to the logging yard or the cement works. And finally Curl Aachen, which is due a new timetable and upgrade hopefully fairly soon. All you do is just regional express one services up and down the line. But since I've discussed Maintal Run, you know what, I think I'll go on that and I'll give it a whirl, have some fun. So we'll do a passenger service from Miltenberg to Aschaffenburg Hauptbahnhof. I think we'll do that one. Why not? Set it to, well, June. Have a bit of cloud on there, I think, as well. So let's rock and roll. Of course, I've got a cup of tea as well, so. Righty-ho. Okay. Right, let's fire this monster up. Put the reverser in, set it to the forward position. Before I do go any further, let's turn on the motion blur to aid the stream's performance. Turn on the transmission power. Let's get out of the chair a second. Signal lights, that's fine. Just need to turn them on to white instead of red. Cab lights, that's fine. The dials, gauge lights 100%, instrument lights 100%, and the indicator lights 100%. And we'll turn the instrument lights on. The gear selection has been set to the fast mode. Excellent. Sit in the chair and let's unlock the doors. Imagine we're on the right. Nope, okay, maybe not. We'll just lock the doors and then unlock them. I just realised I need to turn on the brakes. There we go. There we go, that's better. Right, I'll just turn on the safety systems in the rear cab. It is incredibly noisy, which is good. Listen to that. What a machine. What a machine. So look at that, you can push the seat up and down, which I like very, very much. Turn on the safety systems here, and the CIFA is on. Actually, yeah, we'll leave CIFA on. PZB as well. Close the door. That is so loud. Sit in the chair. Right, so let's get the locomotive itself out of the way with first impressions. Visually, the model, fantastic. I've got no complaints with how this looks, how it is made, the lights as well. Yeah, up close, the texturing there around this, like this bit here, the metal bit here, not very well textured, but look, you can see the streaking on the front there, see the sun beating on it. That looks really, really good. Deutsche Bahn logo is pretty sharp. Now what's cool is that I think these gills, if you like, are animated, so when the locomotive is at full chat moving away, they close. I think to improve aerodynamics, and when you're at a standstill, the gills open, or the flaps open, to aid cooling, because obviously there's a giant diesel engine sitting right behind you. That's why it's incredibly noisy. But yeah, from a model perspective, TSG has knocked it out of the park. The interior, it's okay. I mean, there's a fair bit of there's a fair bit of buttons, I should say, switches you can interact with, as well as, you know, the safety systems in the rear cab. You've got different brakes here, so you've got the dynamic brake, the train brake, which is what I normally use, and the direct brake, which I think is, I think if you just want to bring the locomotive or the train to a complete stop in a very quick period of time. You've got the destination displays, of course that applies to the coaches and the cab car, I think. If you do a service with the cab car, that is. This screen doesn't work, but that is not a surprise. But yeah, the look in here, the look in the cab, it's fairly well textured. You know, it's got that feel of, you know, that the locomotive is, you know, being worked hard. You know, it's not brand spanking new like come out of the factory. It's a bit grubby and greasy in here, which is what I like. This back panel here doesn't work, which is a bit disappointing. And actually, speaking of the engine room earlier, you can't actually walk in or through the locomotive, you know, via the engine room, so that's a bit disappointing. Sounds wise, it is very, very good at idling. There's a little bit of a click you can hear, like when you're idle, but hopefully that's just a small bug that will be fixed. Full chat. So the PIS displays work on the Dosto coaches, which is very, very good. And there is also a rear locomotive for these services on the main tail barn. That's me being an idiot. So busy focusing on getting the locomotive up to speed, I forgot what I was meant to do. There we go, just released the PZB. Right, now I'm in the cab, I can concentrate. So that light going off there is the transmission. That's the indicator for the transmission of oil. So you want to be in notch 2 when that light appears. Once it disappears, you can set whatever notch you want, really. But that pretty much is the transmission fluid or oil indicator. It will be the same when you decelerate or put the notch into a lower setting. But yeah, I had a play with it earlier on the freight run on Hamburg, Lübeck. It was such fun. I mean, I've already made a couple of videos for it, and I really enjoyed operating it. It's nice to do some mainline, you know, modern mainline services, be it passenger and freight, in a diesel locomotive rather than electric. It's really, really nice change. Guten Tag, Bananacraft. Hope you're doing well. That is correct, it is an all-stopping train. Neil Norwich, hey, how are you? Nice to see you, hope you're well. Yeah, I do have some Dosto coaches on the back. How many? 3, I think. Is it 3? Yeah, 3 Dosto coaches and another 218 at the rear. So you can pretty much do push and pull services up and down the line. It's interesting that you don't use the cab car on this route. You just use another 218 locomotive, which I do prefer. Changes it up a little bit. Maximum. Let's get going. have acknowledged the PZB. I've never done a run with PZB on this locomotive. That's why I'm absolutely awful at it. I do apologise. Just let the brakes release. So we're just near a local industry. We're running very, very late, but that is to be expected from me. No surprise. Banana Crawfish train safety system is really hard to work out. It is at first. I mean, it took me quite a long time to master the the PZB, not just on the 218, but all the German multiple units of locomotives. CIFA is pretty much like the Alerta or the TPWS in the UK, which goes off every, like, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute. The PZB is pretty much speed control, if you like, from the signal's perspective. It tells you what speed you should be going at. So you can see on the top left there, it actually tells you what the speed limit you are restricted to, and the colour of the upcoming signal. So these indicators here, when they're flashing 1785, that means you have to be under a speed of 45 kilometers per hour. I always stay, at 40 just to be safe. And when the 1000 Hertz magnet appears, that's where you need to press the circle button on the PlayStation. I am normally very good at it, but it is late at night. Yeah, so if you don't acknowledge the 1000 Hertz magnet in, like, seconds, the emergency brakes will immediately come on. And obviously, once the the lights have stopped flashing, which we need to actually increase so you can see a bit clearer. So yeah, you can see it there, it's flashing there, so that means we have to remain under a restricted speed of 45 kilometers per hour. Once the light stays on 85, you can go up to the maximum permitted light speed. So for example, if it's at 85, I can reach a top speed of 120 kilometers per hour. If it's under freight, with the PZB on, that you have to be under a speed of 120, I think, kilometers per hour, regardless what the line speed is. So it's quite complex to work out, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too difficult, especially with the little PZB and the 1000 Hertz magnet like indicator on the HUD on the top left. It certainly does give you a much better guidance than in previous train symbols. There's no doubt about that. Here we are, coming into the first station stop, albeit nearly 10 minutes late, but there we go. Oh, underestimated it. Oops. Oh, I broke it. Never mind. I'm not doing well tonight. Oh no, I'm not having a good day. Oh dear. I really shouldn't have streamed, should I? I'm just too tired. Let's try again. Oh dear. I am, honestly, I am pretty good at doing services under the PZB system. It's just I need to be more alert and awake, and that's just not happening. Just being totally honest with you. Oh yeah, there's also a train light button there. There we go. Oh yeah, is that at 100%? Yes it is. Yep, just double checking. But on a craft, Long Island Railroad is not that hard to work out now. It's very, very easy, really. There's even a dedicated tutorial on the safety systems on the Long Island Railroad of what is it, ATC, the alerter, and I think that's it, isn't it? But on a craft, I just find any German train, just have a go at you all the time, especially if a button to get it going and keep it going. Yeah, exactly. I was like that at first. Oh yeah, that's the wipers. Animation of that looks really good. There's the blind. There we go. Right, let's lock the doors. Listen to that. Such a good noise. That full chat and that idle as well. It's just got such depth, bellow to it, you know, it's really raw. I really like that. Yeah. There is a few things I would, you know, there are a few niggles I have with this locomotive. I think it just needs more routes to be, for it to be available on, to be honest with you. The amount of routes at the moment that you can use it on is okay, but I think more of the newer routes definitely. Like, could you imagine like taking this locomotive on freight runs up and down Schnellfahrstrecke, Castle Würzburg? That'd be just awesome. Thundering along a high-speed line at night, that'd be so cool. Bremen-Oldenburg, I'm actually surprised this route isn't actually on that route. Isn't on that route. And secondly, I think the most disappointing aspect of this DLC is definitely the Dosto coaches that you use it with. It would have been nice if it came with like a different variant of coaches. That's my only complaint, really. The cab car itself, the Enwagen 463 cab car, is pretty much the same cab car from Bremen-Oldenburg. The only difference is the cab has been configured for it to run, you know, with a diesel locomotive instead of a electric locomotive like you had with the 110. And what was my other little niggle? It's more expensive. It's more expensive than the BR Class 380 that was released. Was it last week or the week before? I'm losing track of time. But yeah, it's more expensive than the Class 380 and the Class 158 that's coming out in a couple of days' time. I mean, it's not that much. It's not crazy expensive. It's what is it, $14.99 in the UK? But it is an increase compared to other loco add-ons in the game. You know, smallest of things can make a difference. Here we are coming up to the first station, which is a Cleanenbach, or back. Right, let's not screw it up this time. There we go. Okay, so we are at the first station stop. Cleanenbach, or however you say it correctly. Nice sunny morning. Wait for the doors to close. Release the brakes. So good. Getting ahead of myself with the speed. Banana Craft are going to say normally you stream on Sundays, Mondays and all Tuesdays. Yeah, I mean I haven't been able to the past weekend or yesterday. I've just been so busy and tired, to be honest with you, with work and also it was exams at the local dance school, you know, helping out with the music and you know, setting it all up and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I was basically just too tired to stream. Was absolutely worn out the past weekend, but I've got tomorrow off, so thought, well, I might as well stream today, get the 218 under my belt from a streaming perspective. But yeah, I mean, oh yeah, I forgot to test the windows. I do like the green colour here, don't know why. It's not every day you sit inside a Deutsche Bahn locomotive and it's green. What a noise, what a sound. But yeah, I mean, overall, as far as this loco add-on is concerned, it's a great piece of kit, you know, the 218. It really, really is. Sounds are excellent. I think at idling and that little click noise you can hear maybe you could hear it on your phone or computer or whatever you watch my streams on. I certainly could hear it through my headset, but yeah, I think the sounds at idle need a a little bit of editing and maybe tweaking a little bit to just make it more streamlined, or edited better. But yeah, this locomotive is brilliant. You know, it looks good. Model is very, very good. Sounds, you know, when you're screaming at full pelt, is just fantastic. And it's really, really cool just to, you know, operate a diesel locomotive out on the modern day German main line, you know, be it freight or passenger. It does need a lot more routes for this to run on. There's no doubt about it. And hopefully, over time, TSG will, you know, allow this 218 to be released, if you like. You know, let the floodgates open and let's see it run around on a lot more German routes than what it's currently capable of. The current selection of routes is okay. It just needs to be a lot more services. No doubt about that. Hamburg Lübeck is okay, but I just feel like, you know, particularly on the more recent Train Sim World routes that have, you know, the upgraded lighting and stuff, it just feels so much more satisfying and nicer to operate on. But yeah, do I recommend you pick this locomotive up? Absolutely. It is another brilliant product from TS Germany, but I do recommend, because of its limited gameplay, I do recommend you pick it up at a discount and not at full price. There's no doubt about that. Ooh, tennis court. Ooh, right near the river. Wouldn't have thought a tree would be on the tennis court. I mean, I wasn't impressed with the Maintal-Barm route in the first place, but that is, yeah, that sums it up, doesn't it? A tree sprouting out of a tennis court. Okay. The sounds of it. What's that then? Is that? Oh, that's the road. Okay, I thought it was another piece of track. Excuse me. But yeah, I don't think it's overall. I think this 218. I don't think it's my favourite piece of content from TSG. I mean, if you were comparing it to the Vossler G6, which is another diesel locomotive, that's the little green shunter. Hands down, I would take the Vossler shunter over this every day of the week. It's just I prefer shunters, and I feel as though it's just better crafted. I don't know. There's something I think missing with the 218 if you compare it to the Vossler G6. I don't think it's the lack of roots, maybe, or I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's just I think the Vossler G6 is much more in depth. I think with what you can do in the cab and compared to the 218. I mean, the Vossler G6 is very modern. It's probably one of the most modern locomotives in the game, because I think it's got like 4 different types of braking systems, and you know, you can actually do it from a cold start, whereas in the 218 I don't think you can shut it down and do a cold start. I haven't done the cold start in any of the timetables or stuff like that. In the tutorial you can do a cold start, but I don't think in practice you can do a cold start, let alone shut it down. So maybe you can, I don't know. And there's no manual for this, unfortunately. There you go, never mind. Anyway, the next stop is Klingenberg. Bananacraft trying to keep on time on some routes is really hard. Definitely got to be on the ball and not miss anything. Absolutely. Just like real life. Sometimes they do a really good job, then sometimes mess things up on screens on the Bakerloo line, cutting into the train at station. Oh really? The screens cutting into the station. Oh, do you mean that that block of CCTV screens at the end of the platform on the Bakerloo line? Is that what you mean? Because when you say screens, I'm thinking the PIS screens, and I'm like, well, how can the PIS screens cut into the train on the Bakerloo? Because yeah, it's hung up on from the ceiling, isn't it? So it shouldn't be clipping into the tube stock, the tube train. I don't know. We've got a speed limit of 60 kilometers per hour coming up shortly, but that's okay. We're cruising along nicely at 60 kilometers per hour. I must say, if you do want to take this train out for a spin, you know, and you're not sure what to try, definitely try a freight run. I did a freight service earlier today with for 218 on Hamburg Lübeck with a couple of 218 locomotives coupled together, over a big heavy automotive train. Oh, it was such a joy to drive, hearing those engines really working hard to get the train up the steep gradients was such a joy. It's really nice just to put the locomotive under strain, under a bit of strain, under stress. That's the word. Under stress, and put it under a bit of stress. See it work really hard for its money. So Water Park, we've just passed there on the right hand side. Just put the brakes on as we're coming up to the station of Klegenberg. Very popular in the summer holidays, the station, for the water park. There's a 642 chugging along. I do like that 642 a lot. It's a good thing you can use the 642 on Bremen-Oldenburg now. Hooray! Another route to use it on. So, welcome to Klegenberg. These are the Dosto coaches here. For some reason, the train lights on the coaches don't work for whatever reason, even though I've turned the train light switch on. So that's another little issue with the 218. It's not just with the Dosto coaches, it's with the N-Wagen coaches as well. So even if you turn the train lights on or turn the switch off and turn it on again, it won't make any difference. The lights will stay off, unfortunately. The next stop is Wurf, 2 kilometers away. running late, but I'm not bothered. Consider this a nice cruise on the branch line. I must say, because this route is part of the, or is technically like a separate extension to Main Barn. Imagine if Main Barn gets remastered. That will look incredible. Because I think that's a fairly decent looking German route, even though it's from the very old days of the train sim world. Bananacraft, one of the platforms, the monitor for the driver to see down the side of the train on the above ground station, it clips into the train as you go past. I don't get how they missed that. I've never noticed that before. I'm not sure. I'll have a look at that. I'll take a look at that tomorrow. And, is that at every station, or is it a specific one? I imagine it's a specific station. Clips pretty far into the train and can't miss when you're doing a run. You have to go back on the route and see what I mean. Yeah, I will, definitely. I'll definitely check that out. I mean, to be honest, I've never noticed that before. It's been quite a long time since I've done a trip on the Bakerloo line, virtually that is. I'm going a bit too fast here. Go. Josh Hodgins, Transportation Explorer. Hey, nice to see you. Hope you're well. Welcome. Just taking the reasonably new DBBR 218 diesel locomotive out for a spin on the main tower barn. I could have done Hamburg, Lübeck, but you know, I mean, it's just a journey from one end to the other, isn't it? With hardly any stops in between. So I felt, Maintail Barn looks a little bit better than Hamburg Lübeck, and have to do actually, operate the service, stopping and starting and opening the doors and closing the doors. So I thought, let's do that instead. The experience won't feel as numb and crushingly boring for me. The next stop is Erdenbach, or back. Which is really not far away. Blondcraft, one of the stations, can't remember which one. It's above ground. Oh, okay. It's above ground, and that's much easier to spot. Because there's less stations at ground level than there is underground, of course. Josh, you like football? I do like football. Very much so. I watched a pre-season game at the weekend on TV or online. Spurs playing Queen's Park Rangers, so an London affair. Loftus Road. Thankfully Spurs won, and with a clean sheet as well. I mean, the result doesn't matter really, it's about the performance and the players and getting up to speed for the new season, but it was a good watch, I must say. Not a fan of the new kits though. I mean, the new one is okay. It's, you know, it's a classic look, but I mean, as much as I like classic kits, it's just not my thing. You know, the blue on the shoulders, I don't like it. I prefer just all lily white, and then have the blue shorts. But that's just my view. Let's go. Right, I'll save the usual YouTube shenanigans. If you'd enjoyed the stream up to this point and you like what you see or hear, then of course feel free to hit the thumbs up button below. And if you are watching for the first time, be it live or playback, then I'd really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. As far as the next stream is concerned, I don't even know when the next stream, what the next stream will be on, to be honest. Excuse me. But yeah, as far as the next stream is concerned, I think the next stream will be on the BR class 158, I think, the ScotRail one, because it'll be up by then, and we'll definitely try to stream that on a Sunday if I can. Interesting to compare the 158 Midland Mainline version and the ScotRail version. See which one is better, or which one I prefer. Right, we're coming up to the next station stop. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it because yeah, if I try and pronounce it, it's going to be miles off how it's said correctly. We are at the next station stop. Glanstoffwerk, that's how you say it correctly. Seems like a very industrial facility over here, big factory. I don't know why I'm taking a look at the route overall. I've already done that once. Before I just look over it again, see if Dovetail improved any of it. Doesn't seem to be the case, unfortunately. I do like those towers though. All the big pipes. They don't look too bad. It's also pretty cool, I must admit, that, you know, with the passenger services, obviously, if you're going, what is it? If you're going northbound, obviously you'll stop at some stations, like this one. But when you're going southbound, sometimes you won't even stop at that station. Which is quite cool. The next stop is Ubenberg, I think. But not I think it was North Wembley. Oh right. Speaking of Wembley, there was a new musical that was returning to London. It's near Wembley. It's the Starlight Express musical. So I'm glad I can say that in the Train Sim World stream, as it is a railway related thing. I've never actually seen the Starlight Express, but I do know it's the most popular musical in Germany, and certainly one of Andrew Lloyd Webber's best pieces of work he's done. I think it's so popular in Germany, they actually have a purpose-built theatre dedicated to the Starlight Express. And I've seen a few clips of it in the German version, and it's really, really cool. I'll try and see if I can go and see that. Of course that means taking, faffing around with the trains. I've got to get there first. Never fun, especially in summertime. I mean, transport-wise, obviously, it's not quite fun, especially in my area, because we had a bus strike today. So all the buses around the area were non-existent. The RMT union. I think bus drivers striking over pay. Which is fair enough, but incredibly annoying. I mean, it doesn't affect me personally because I don't ride the buses, but because of, I don't have to walk far to work, so it's fine. But for friends I know and tend to need to use the local public transport, it is very much a pain in the neck. But there we go. It's only a couple of days strike. Could be worse. Could be 2 weeks. But on a see posters for that around the place. I've had all the Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, my sister loves Phantom of the Opera. She's seen it like, I don't know how many times. 6, 7, 8 times. It's probably close to double digits. Yeah, my sister loves Phantom of the Opera. I've seen it, I think, 1 or 2 times, and yeah, it's okay. I wouldn't want to see it 6, 7, 8 times though. The next stop is a Kleinwallstadt. Oh yeah, another thing I forgot to mention about this locomotive. This locomotive has Dovetail's new suspension system. They've been trying to add to the game, but have been constantly delaying it. And I remember when the suspension update was meant to be part of, what was it? Meant to be released back in the winter time, and then it was delayed, pushed back to spring, and then it's been spring, it's been pushed back to summer. It's like we're never going to get this big suspension update. It's been trialled a few times, like on the Blackpool branches, Class 142 and the DBR 218. I'm not sure on the Class 380, but definitely the 218. You can feel the new suspension physics if you have like a PS5 controller, And you set the go into the settings and set the vibrations up to maximum, which is the standard for PS5 controllers. You can feel, the suspension system at work. Bananacraft, when you have cats, and the also shocking School of Rock. I've never seen School of Rock or cats, to be honest with you. I thought cats would be worse than School of Rock, but I'm not too sure. I know the film School of Rock had Jack Black in it. It was quite good. I remember watching that as a kid. I remember in music class in school years ago, secondary school I think, we used to watch School of Rock with Jack Black, and it was quite fun. Good watch. Bananacraft, I really didn't see anything about buses going on strike. Normally you hear something. What company was that? Company, good grief, I don't know. It was on the news. It was on the news this morning. Not any of the major news. It was like the local radio or something like that. Just said, the buses around here are going on strike for 2 days. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, it's obvious now. There's no buses on the roads. Unless it's affecting like certain lines, because in Reading you have some lines of buses. So you've got like the Lizard line, the Tiger line. The lines are under the names of animals, and the buses are painted on in colours of animals. Like if it was a tiger, it would be orange with black stripes or something like that. Or if it was a lizard, or a cheetah, I think, not a lizard, actually, cheetah. It would be the colours of a cheetah. It would say it on the side. So I don't know what the actual company is. I think I imagine it's just Reading Buses or something. I don't know, to be honest with you, what the company is. But I think it's under First. I think it's got to be, right? I imagine it's First. But yeah, I really don't know what company it is. But the buses are nice though, especially the single deckers. They're reasonably new. You've got Wi-Fi and decent air conditioning for a change. They're longer as well, so you can fit more people in there. Not too far. So up here is the dockyard, which was present in the main Bahn, and obviously that's Aschaffenburg Hauptbahnhof station. I'll have a sip of tea, I think. Tea is called for. Ah, lovely. Right, the next station stop is Sulzbach. Let's go for it. up to maximum now. First time I've been able to do that because we've got a reasonable gap to Salzbach. But it does struggle to get to like 120 kilometers per hour. It certainly does take a little bit longer than the electric locomotives. You know what this route reminds me of, Main Tail Barn? It kind of reminds me of West Somerset. Maybe it's worse. That's not me saying that because I'm a Britishman and I prefer the West Somerset Railway. It's just that I think the West Somerset Railway is a better quality product. Simple as that. West Somerset Railway is longer too, so you get more for your money, and it's cheaper. Main Tail Barn is priced at £30. West Somerset Railway is £10 cheaper. And you get 2 loco add-ons, plus a steam timetable. Main Tail Barn can't say anything about that. But then again, this is a modern day German branch line. West Somerset Railway is a heritage railway, and I do need to up the pigeons by the sound of it, or doves. So pop back in the cab and depart. Right, let's go to the next stop, which is Ubenau. Full power. Banana Craft, only one I've got up is Cornwall. That's first buses down there, nothing around your way. Have a look around and park. OMT, okay, well. Well, seems it's not the only area then, if must be coordinated strike then. just affecting one part of the country, but another part, southeast and the southwest. It's fair enough, I suppose. Create maximum impact. You know, bring the people at boardroom level to attention. That's for sure. Whether they will up the wages is a very different story. I don't know how much they're paid actually, bus drivers compared to train drivers. Obviously, it's a massive chasm, you know, cavern of difference. I think train drivers are paid like near, I don't know, I think it's 66 to 70,000. I don't think bus drivers get paid that amount for a year. I suppose it depends on where you are based though, I suppose. If it's in London, then maybe the wages will be a little bit higher than say in the southeast or southwest or northwest, northeast, up north, wherever. Let's take a look at the coaches a second. Because obviously the 642 is just a little tiny multiple unit, so you wouldn't be using these coaches if it wasn't for the 218. But yeah, the PIS displays are working, so that's good, and the passenger rush hour tech is working, so that's good. It just would be nice to have a different type of coaches, you know, Dosto coaches for a little bit. We've had the same ones for far too long. I think we once had the 767.2 variant, and then ever since we've had the 766.2. It's not a major difference, but there's a small difference, I think, of where the vents are positioned on the roof of the cab car. There really isn't much difference. So yeah, some new Dosto coaches would be very much welcome. The next stop is Aschaffenburg Süd. So we are now approaching part of the old Mainz-Bahn route that was in Train Sim World 1. It would have been nice if this was, you know, an actual extension to the route, because then the whole route would get the makeover of the, you know, lighting, fog, and a new timetable probably as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if Dovetail actually do that, to be honest with you. They probably will remaster maybe a few old routes before the unfortunate anticipated release of Train Sim World 5 when that comes out in September or whenever. It's going to be Train Sim World 5, it's got to be. I'd be pleasantly surprised if it wasn't. It'd be nice if it's like a massive big update to Train Sim World 4, then it would save me forking out 50-60 quid on pretty much the same game. It's getting a bit tiring, you know, spending that amount of money on the core game, which is exactly the same. The only difference being is that the routes are different. It would be nice if the game, you know, the core game that we've got now is just upgraded, like they did in the old days. But there we are. Banana Croft, about time buses went on strike, working in poor conditions and work long hours. Long hours, it depends what long hours is. I mean, how long is yeah, how long is it to a point that's described as long hours? I suppose everybody works long hours, right? Or everyone chooses to work long hours. I don't, but I don't have to. Okay. I'm happy with the hours I've got. It's enough work for me. I get a decent wage, so I'm happy. We're going to have 16 or 15 an hour for drivers, depending on the company. Seen as high as £20 an hour. That's pretty good. It's not too bad. Uh, 12-hour shifts, sometimes longer if needed. That's adding breaks into the middle to 14-hour days. It's long. Yeah, I don't think I could do 14-hour days. Even if I wanted to, I don't think I legally could. For the company I work at, I don't think I could actually. I suppose you could, technically, if you classified it as overtime or extra hours. But no, I don't want to do that. I mean, heck, I don't even get paid £15-16 an hour. I get paid less than that, but I do get a decent return, money-wise. To me, I think it's okay. Keeps me ticking over. Wouldn't mind getting paid a little bit more an hour. But I think I'll have to find a new job for that. But isn't everyone? No. Everyone wants more. I think I might have stopped too early. No, the platform's long enough. Alright, here we are, Schaffenburg Sud. Yeah, the undercarriage here. Now, I don't know, I'm just thinking actually, because on Maintalbahn you can refuel the 642 multiple unit, Matter Schaffenburg. You have the refueling point here. As you can see, there's a multiple unit there getting ready for its next set of duties. Yeah, you'd bring the multiple unit down, and you take the cap off the 642, and then you'd fill the tank up with diesel or whatever it runs on. But I don't know if you can refill the diesel fuel tank on the 218. I think you can, I'm not sure. Because I imagine the fuel tank is there, but I don't think you can refill it. Maybe you can't refill the tank. No, that's a shame. Unless maybe the fuel filler cap is somewhere else. Maybe it's in the. Maybe there's a little switch somewhere on in the other cab where the safety systems are. I don't know. Oh, never thought about that. I don't think you can refill this locomotive with oil or diesel or whatever, petroleum. Not the refueling point on this route, but it would be cool if you could. The next stop is Aschaffenburg Hochschule. Ben Davis, hey, nice to see you, hope you're well. Are you going to be playing the new DLC coming up this week? Yeah, I will be, yes, the 158, yes, that's right. I will be. I think when you do Train Sim 5, there is a big update, or some things are truly different. Oh yeah, if there are like major differences, you know, be it the user interface and the major changes to the scenario planner. I don't know, the painting thing, what's it called? Livery designer thing. Maybe some more changes to the photo camera system, as well as the what's it called? The the way you share your scenarios and liveries and photos, and yeah, I would consider that to be a new main game if the whole kit and caboodle was restructured, I suppose, or given a big refresh, a big update. Because no doubt the scenario planner, that needs a lot of changes to it. Because I don't use it because it's hardly different. There's nothing really it's not really. If you compare it to Train Sim 2 to now, really not much has changed. With regards to the livery designer, the scenario planner, that needs a massive overhaul. As far as I'm concerned, for me to be deemed usable and enjoyable. Because I had a go of it the other day, and it's just a bit of a faff, really. It just needs to be more simplified, or just if you want to go really in depth with it and create a really good scenario, give people the tools to do that. It would be nice as well if the game could be a little bit less intensive on storage, because it's getting a little bit too big, this game. At the moment, I haven't even got every DLC installed. It's still at 215 gigabytes, which is ridiculous. You could have two next gen versions of GTA 5 put together, and it still won't be as big as Train Sim World 4. It's insane, absolutely insane. Right, the next and final stop will be Aschaffenburg, Hauptbahnhof, and I think I'll call it a day with this stream. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Nice to take the 218 out for a run on the branch line, and I've really enjoyed it. Ben Davis, out of all the German trains, this is the best one of them all. Yeah, it's certainly up there with the best. There's no question about it. It's the only mainline diesel locomotive we have at the moment, and what a locomotive it is. A bit too fast here, as we are approaching Aschaffenburg. There's 363 in the siding, guarding the station. And I think if you compare Aschaffenburg Bahnhof on this route to Mainz-Bahn, I don't think really much has changed. The only difference being there's a lot more trains in the area. Peak time you'd have like ICEs and Vectrons, 425s, and obviously the 642s, and this running around the Aschaffenburg area compared to Mainz-Bahn, which you don't. There's that 642. I really love that multiple unit. It's definitely one of the best diesel multiple units that Dovetail have made so far, as far as I'm concerned. There we are. Yeah, there we are. Really enjoyed it. like I said, overall, it's a great product. You know, TSG once again have pulled it out of the bag and have developed another quality loco add-on. The only problem with this being is that there's just not enough routes for it to run around on. I mean, there is a few. There's just not enough services in those routes for it to, you know, really put it to the test. There are some good ones, you know, like Kurlaken, Mainz-Bahn, this route here, Mainz-Bahn and Hamburg, Lübeck. You know, they're okay. I just think it needs a little bit more gameplay, more variety in its services. But other than that, it's a brilliant locomotive. Looks good, sounds good. A little bit of tweaking needs to be done to the sounds at idle in the cab. But overall, it's a great product. Do I recommend you get it? 100%. But at a discount. It is more expensive than some of the other loco add-ons we've had recently. But it is a fantastic product. There's no doubt about that. What a locomotive that is. Banana Craft. Definitely needing a thank you sometimes. Oh yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. Lion, Leopard, Rennie Masters, that's right. Old 2014 play, alright. They still look reasonably new today. I didn't know they were 2014, I thought they were 2024. Must have worked Wi-Fi on them, doesn't come cheap. No, of course. Ben Davis, yeah, Xbox is already up 60% just on this game. Oh my god. Well, I've got an external hard drive, so I managed to put some games that would be on the normal PS5 hard drive, and I'll just stick it on the external hard drive. So I think I've got like 2 terabyte to play with, so it's okay for now. Omar, what are your thoughts on the TSW5 leaks? No, I have no idea. I didn't even know there was some leaks about it, to be honest with you. Been so busy, haven't had a chance. Craziest leaks yet. We will see. There's a breach of data and the person responsible get actions were taken against them. Well, there you go. Got to be careful with these things. Ben Davis, been nice to see some more shunted German trains in this game and more diesel. Oh yeah, of course. Well, I mean, we've got some good shunters. There's no doubt about it. We've got many 363s now. We've got a 365. We've got the Vossler, the 204, which is badly underused. I really like that German diesel locomotive. And of course, we're slowly getting more German diesel stock. You know, 642s and the 218. But yeah, there we go. That concludes the stream on the DBBR 218. Brilliant add-on. I do recommend you pick it up, but at a discount, like I said. But if you'd enjoyed the stream, then feel free to hit the thumbs up button below. And if you like what you see or hear, then and you are watching for the very first time, then I'd really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. The next stream will be, I think, this weekend. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. But yeah, the next stream will be on the soon-to-be brand spanking new BR Class 158 in ScotRail livery. So yeah, hopefully you could join me for the next stream. And I would just like to say thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.